So remember the guy that got hired as the first official full-time Taylor Swift reporter? We talked about him, and honestly, like, I watched his audition video and I found myself liking the guy because he's just so wholesome. And this is his dream job and he got it. And now the Swifties are attacking him because they're so horrified that a man would get hired to be the Taylor Swift journalist, that only a woman could authentically report on Taylor Swift because she speaks for women. And I mean, he's gay, so I'm just gonna throw that out there. He's not he's not a straight white male, at the very least. He checks off one box, but that's still not enough for them. They're angry that a male would have this position because he just doesn't understand her work like a woman could.
Is that true? Can only women understand the greatness that is Taylor Swift? I actually say that because I've never gotten the appeal, but I'm not a woman.
Honestly, I'm not a Swiftie. I'm just like a casual listener here and there. But Taylor Swift doesn't have a lot in common with ordinary women, right? Neither does her dating life. It's not relatable. It's a fantasy that they engage in. So I don't really think that her work speaks for women or resonates with women in any particular way that a man couldn't understand it. And also, heartbreak isn't a female experience. It's a universal experience. At least it's supposed to be.
That's what I used to love about entertainment, is that they used to talk about ideas that were universal to all people, not things that were intersectional ideas that were only understandable to certain people.
Yeah, but I recently argued my theory on it, which is that women are obsessed with Taylor Swift's personal dating life because they want to live vicariously through her, because her dating life and her personal life in general is not relatable. It's something that they use to sublimate their unfulfilled desires for romance in this depressing, disappointing, boring world.
Well, until Taylor Swift releases a song about meeting men on Tinder, I think they're screwed.
They do that to their own peril, by the way, because if you mimic a 34-year-old billionaire woman's dating life, you're going to be sorely disappointed.
They will.
I think that
the antidepressant market will skyrocket.
These girls,
Pfizer and their shill, Travis Kelce, will rake in the money.
I said that, you know, if any of these girls woke up and realized it, they would see that as an ordinary woman in her 20s without a net worth of 10 figures and global fame, they actually would have an easier time finding a guy to marry than Taylor Swift would. But they're not going to realize that.
They're not going to settle.
They would be so much better off to stop mimicking her and taking cues from her in general.
They're not going to meet their own Travis Kelce because they're not going to settle. You made the point. You said maybe to Taylor Swift, just a pro football player is her version of settling. But like,
well, she's not going to find a guy more wealthy than
these
her.
Women are not going to, if they're in their 30s and they haven't settled down yet.
Her fans are not in their 30s though. She's found a Gen Z audience. They're young.
But half the time when we talk about her, we talk about her millennial fans.
No, she started with a millennial fan base and then expanded expertly into a Gen Z audience that's not familiar with her original stuff.
Well, they're not going to settle for plumbers and electricians based on Taylor Swift song lyrics, even if she thinks that they would.
Well, I'm thinking if Taylor Swift gets married and settles down and has a kid or whatever.
And I'm not saying that that's a problem. I'm saying that they're going to be seen to them as less than. But that's the problem with society, right? These are going to be college-educated women who go to 4-year colleges or go to graduate school, not realizing that the dude who goes to trade school is probably going to be able to provide better for a family because he's not going to have $10 gazillion in student loan debt.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, my broader point was that Taylor Swift doesn't have all that much in common with women in general. Therefore, why would it be a bad thing for a man to report on Taylor Swift? and be a Swiftie in general.
Yeah.
So here are some of the angry tweets. One said, I don't know this man, but I feel like I should say that I know for a fact hundreds, if not thousands of women applied for this job that involves, reporting on a female musician who writes music about the female experience.
I looked up Taylor Swift audience demographic breakdown. 55% of her fans are Democrats. Shocker. 23%.
That's surprisingly
23% were
mixed.
Republican. 23 were independent. In terms of generations, 45% are millennials, 23% are baby boomers, 21% are Gen X, and 11% are Generation Z. So those millennials who are not married yet ain't settling down.
That's interesting because I see like the renaissance of her career as being fueled by Gen Z girls. Because when you look at the videos of her concerts, it's girls in their late teens and early 20s.
I always thought they looked like women that were in their late 20s.
There are them too,
yeah.
but how would she have gotten this big rush of popularity again if she hadn't gained a lot of fans who are younger?
Yeah,
she's been in the public eye for a very long time.
It's I'm gonna double check on this survey to make sure it's recent, but like your point being that they're saying that a guy couldn't possibly understand Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
which I'm not sure is necessarily completely untrue. I have no idea.
Someone said, then get women out of male sports if that's how you feel. Like female reporters.
Yeah, like our
sports.
Our female reporters not allowed to comment on pro sports.
Yeah.
There are plenty of women that work in the journalism departments of football and basketball.
Would you ever say also about a male musician that he makes music about the male experience? You would never say that.
Nope.
That's ridiculous. Another said, USA Today undermined how much Taylor is girlhood and how much we would hate this. No hate on the dude, but we all know that position was meant for a woman. And then also somebody that used to work for that company commented saying, the man behind the Swift reporter idea is a raging drunken fool who most of the staff hate.
So they don't like this guy?
But he had a good idea. Another said, just like being a cop, soldier, firefighter, paramedic, construction worker, etc., are jobs meant for men, not women. But they would be very offended by that idea.
If you said to them that women can't be firefighters, people would be pissed. Hell would rain down upon you. Though Tim always likes to tell that story about, he's like, if I'm in a burning building, I don't want to see like a tiny woman come through the door coming to save me.
No. Another said, my father gets upset and walks out of the room if there are female reporters or broadcasters talking about football. He says women don't understand the game and can't ever. He believes they shouldn't be hired to report on football. I hope that gives you perspective.
They're also saying that her audience breakdown is only 52% women and 48% men.
Well, do you believe that? That's kind of hard to believe.
74% white.
That makes sense.
Yep. 55% are Democrats. 53% live in suburban areas.
How do we know this? Who did this study?
Yep. This is on Morning Consult Pro.
Don't know what that is. Another one said, the full-time reporter on Taylor Swift being a man is actually crazy. You're telling me one of the girls didn't get that job? Get serious.
Yes, I would let Captain Marvel save me. Someone in the chat said, would you let Captain... Yes, I would let Brie Larson save me, absolutely. I would.
If a woman got the job, that doesn't mean that the other women who applied wouldn't be bitter about it.
Doesn't the fact that he's gay play into this, though? I'm just saying.
Does it?
Yes.
Apparently not.
I think it does.
He's still a man, so he's evil because of his maleness, and his gayness doesn't make up for it.
Well, okay then. I just I can't think of anything in which you're these days where you're allowed to say the opposite is true. It is true though that a lot of times they see it as like, look, men invading women's spaces. So it took is like, look, we let them invade women's locker rooms, we let them invade women's sports, but this is where they draw the line. The person reporting on Taylor Swift. Look, if you want to go and infiltrate a woman's locker room, everyone will tell you that is your right, and that anyone who says that you shouldn't do that is a bigot. But the second you come for the Taylor Swift reporting job, oh my goodness, that's a problem, ladies and gentlemen. This is a woman's only space. We live in an absolutely unserious time.
Good point.
We live in a
Good
ridiculous time.
Like the Taylor Swift reporting position is the last female space that we can defend.
Well, no,
Another one
somebody says in the comments, says a man would make a less biased report. They actually pointed out then technically
he's a Swiftie.
The reporter shouldn't be a Taylor Swift fan at all then. He should be somebody who's like, who?
But no sane person would want to make their entire job about Taylor Swift.
Look, I mean, you say that now, but tons of people probably didn't really care about Donald Trump. But there's like whole newsrooms dedicated to Donald Trump.
Oh, they care about Donald Trump because they hate him.
Yeah.
Another comment said he's probably flaming, so what's the difference? And they also accused him of bashing what fans were wearing to shows, which is not true. I watched his video and he just said that he like made listicles ranking Halloween costumes. They'll just come up with any reason to hate this guy, and he's honestly a wholesome individual.
I mean, based on what little we
me.
know about him.
Yeah.
Like,
another said, I will never stop complaining that an artist who has one of the most unapologetically feminine bodies of work was given a male journalist to write about her full time. We never see this happening in reverse either. The reason that you never see it happening in reverse is because there are no male artists with reporters dedicated to reporting on them full time. That is not a thing. Taylor Swift is in a league of her own, which should be something to celebrate and not complain about.
Demographics. So yeah, this whole survey, this is all on the Wikipedia page for her fan base. The Swifties have their own Wikipedia page.
Seriously?
Yep. It's a 2023 survey, so it is a recent survey by Morning Consult. Now, it is, however, possible that despite the fact that 11% of the fan base might be Gen Z, they're the most tech literate and have the widest reach.
That makes sense. Yeah. I saw someone post a TikTok that said, this is a video of Taylor Swift that my dad recorded in 2015 before she got famous.
Well, that makes sense because it says journalists have noted an increase in Swift's boomer and Generation X fans known as, quote, senior Swifties.
Senior
Swifties. I wonder if they like that terminology for it. I'm more impressed by her 23% Republican, 23% independent fan base there. She's truly bringing everyone together.
I see a loser here. They tweeted, I've been an entertainment journalist for 10 years. I've been a Taylor fan for longer. I've covered her career professionally for the length of my own. I applied and they didn't even watch my video. The way this played out kind of sucks. Sounds like a sore loser to me.
Somebody should call the ambulance.
I don't know.
Get him a French cry.
It sounds like a job that you would quickly become tired of anyway. Yes. You would quickly hate it.
No, it's actually true, right? So it's like the moment it becomes work, like I actually felt that way about skating. So I've been skating for 25 years, but when I skated for companies, I would oftentimes dread when I had to go make like promotional material or edits for the companies, then I'd be like, ugh. I have to go do this now. Even though I would skate every other day of the week, I skated 6 days a week, but when I had to go do it, suddenly it felt like work. And I would have to steel myself to go and do it because something has to come of it. Whereas normally you go out and whatever happens, happens. The second it becomes work, that can change your whole relationship with the activity or within, I guess in this case, the person.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.